Alrighty. Hello, everybody. I've awoken. I'm fully awake. I have actually got myself some snacks as well as water and whatnot stuff for tonight. But no, tonight we're gonna do a little bit of a book club. No, do a little book reading tonight. Just a little one. Just, just a little one. Definitely won't be like 3,000 years. But no, hello, welcome in. Tonight we're gonna read some HP Lovecraft. You know how it is. I've turned down the alerts to be like a little half wise. I've gotten rid of a bunch of them. I'll be able to hear them at proper volume. Don't worry. But no, yeah, we're gonna read today. We're gonna do the thing. But no, the book we're reading will be Beyond the Wall of Sleep. From you guessed it, H.P. Lovecraft. I have a list of things that I want to do, though. 100% of like things and whatnot. But no, before that, how are you guys doing? What's up? How's my goblins? Hopefully you're not as pixelated as I am right now. What's up? How's your day? How's your night? What's up? I got myself some water. Sipping that bad boy. No worries. After we do our book club, all the redeems will be back for obvious reasons. Are you doing good? I'm glad you're doing good. Also, welcome in. Have you recently been into any books recently yourself? Question mark. Is this your first book club? Question mark. I know goblins don't really do much readings, but hey, these goblins that we have here are very intelligent. They read good. Oh, midnight, midnight. Uh, Unfortunately, I don't lose Pinot. I get more. I just gain more from slime. Remember, slime. Slime does more. Also, welcome in. Tonight we're going to be doing some reading. In the reading Lord Manchester, how is it? Like, what do you like about it so far? Do you enjoy the settings? Do you enjoy the plot? We're gonna read like if it comes to bigger like books and whatnot. We'll do some like we'll do like chapters wise. What's more, depending on how big the books are. Um, Beyond the Wall of Sleep isn't as big as I was thinking it was gonna be, so I think we might be able to do this in one sitting. It's about like 30 minutes. About it's been enjoyable. Good, good. I am glad it's been enjoyable for you. I'm gonna be in hell because once we're, if anything, I'm gonna be using the reading as more of a way to properly like talk and stuff. Because slime needs to learn how to do that in a more better way. But you can read along, listen, do your thing, talk about it. Then after we're done reading, we'll do our dislikes, likes, what we like about it, what we hated, what we thought was gonna happen, whatnot. I'll most likely read the first once I finish the first page. Definitely tell me what you think, what you think's gonna happen, because like I don't I love seeing what people think happens in later on kind of things. Hell, if you've already like read it, definitely like give a response later on. Definitely. Obviously, no spoilers. English all 103 chapters, but it's been good. Hey, may as well have it finished. May as well have it finished, right? But I haven't read the not read. But I haven't read in like a long time. I haven't read in a while. Like I haven't. I love reading. I'm hoping this will re-engage my brain into something that I enjoy. Oh my god, those are some emotes. Those are emotes. Oh my, chest being oh my god, cute, cute, cute. All right, enough of that. I think. Question mark. Favorite genre is fantasy. Nice. Mine's a little bit of everything. Not gonna lie. I have a feeling for everything, but I personally like fantasy. But I like fantasy that has like a grasp on like a little bit of like where on some romance, but it's not like the main thing kind of thing. Does that make any sense? Like like there's love interest kind of thing, but it's not the only thing. All right, where's my music? Slow down. Quiet it. Quiet. Quiet. Mm. All right. Mm. Let's begin. Beyond the Wall of Sleep, 1919. I have an exposition of sleep come upon me. Dash Shakespeare. I've frequently wondered if the majority of mankind have ever paused to reflect upon the occasionally titanic significance of dreams and of the obscure world to which they belong. Whilst the greater number of our nocturnal visions are perhaps no more than faint and fantastic reflections of our waking experiences, fraud to the contrary, with his puerile symbolism, there are still a certain reminder whose immundane and ethereal character permits of no ordinary interpretations, whose vaguely exciting and disquieting effect oh god, effect suggests possible minutes glimpses into a physical sphere of mental existence no less important than physical life. Yet separated from that life by an all impassable barrier from my experience, I cannot doubt but that man, when lost to terrestrial consciousness, is indeed sojourning in another incorporeal life of far different nature from life we know, and of which only the slightest and indistinct memories linger after waking. God damn, I'm gonna have a hard time reading this. It's very English. So, apologies for for future slime from those blurred and fragmentary memories. We may infer much, yet prove little. We may guess that in dreams and life, matter, and vitality, as the earth knows such things, we are necessarily constant, and that time and space do not exist, as our waking selves comprehend them. Sometimes I believe that time and space do not exist. Oh god, I just did the thing. Sometimes I believe that this life material is our truer life, and our vain presence on the terraqueous globe, terraqueous globe is itself the secondary or merely virtual phenomenon. It was a useful reverie filled with speculations of the sort that arose one afternoon in the winter of 1900 to 1901, when to the state of psychopathic institution in which I served as an internee was brought the man whose case has ever since haunted me so unceasingly. His name, as given on the records, was Joe Slater, or Slater, and his appearance was that of his typical denizen of Catskill Mountain region, one of those strange, repellent scions of primitive colonial peasant stock, with isolation for these nearly 3 centuries of hilly fastness of a little traveled countryside has caused them to sink to a kind of barbaric degeneracy like goblins. rather than advance with their own fortunately placed brethren of the thickly settled districts. Among these odd folk, whose curse correspond exactly of the decadent element of white trash in the South, law and morals are non-existent, and their general mental status is probably below that of any other section of the native. Oh my gosh. Alright. Alright. Alright, we're going deep, guys. We're going deep. Joe Slater, who came of the institution to the vigilant custody of 4 state policemen and who was described as highly dangerous character, certainly presented no evidence of his perilous disposition when I first beheld him. Though well above the middle stature and of pale, sleepy blueness of his small watery eyes, the scantness of his neglected and never shaven growth of yellow beard, and the listless drooping of his heavy nether lip. His age was unknown, since among his kind neither family records nor permanent family ties exist, but from the baldness of his head in front, and from the decayed condition of his teeth, the head surgeon wrote him down as a man at about 40. For the medical and court documents, we learned all that gathered in his case. This man, a vagabond, hunter, and trapper, had always been strange in the eyes of his primitive associates. He had habitually slept at night beyond the ordinary times, and upon waking would often talk of unknown things in a manner so bizarre as to inspire fear, even in the hearts of an unimaginative populace, that his form of language was at all unusual. For he never spoke save in debased patrols of his environment. The tone and tenor of his utterances were of such mysterious wildness that none might listen without apprehension. He himself generally as terrified and baffled as his auditors, and within an hour after waking, he would forget all that he had said, or at least all that he had caused him to say what he did, relapsing to a bovine half-amiable normality like that of all other hill dwellers. What in the world is going on with this man? As Slater grew, it appeared his maternal aberrations had gradually increased in frequency and violence. I'm gonna learn words today, guys. I'm gonna learn words. Till about a month before his arrival at the institution had occurred, the shocking tragedy which caused his arrest by the authorities. One day near noon, after a shocking tragedy. One day near noon, after a profound sleep begun, whiskey debauch. At 5 in the previous afternoon, the man had aroused himself most suddenly with ululations so horrible and unearthly that they brought several neighbors to his cabin, a filthy sty where he dealt with a family as indescribable as himself, rushing out into the snow. He had flung his arms along and commenced a series of leaps directly upward in the air, the while shouting his determination to reach some big cabin, with brightness in the roof and the walls and floor, and the loud, queer music far away as 2 men of moderate size sought to restrain him. He struggled with the maniacal force and fury, screaming of his desires and need to find and kill a certain thing that shines and shakes and laughs. At length, after temporarily felling one of his detainers with a sudden blow, he had flung himself upon the other in a demonic ecstasy of bloodthirsty shrieking fiendishly, that he would jump high in the air and burn his way through anything that stopped him. Family and neighbors had now fled in a panic, and when the more courageous of them returned, Slater was gone, leaving behind an unrecognizable pulp-like thing that had been a living man but an hour before. None of the mountaineers had dared to pursue him, and it's likely that they would have welcomed his death from the cold. But when several mornings later they heard his screams from a distant ravine, they realized that he had somehow managed to survive, and that his removal in one way or another would be necessary. Then had followed an armed searching party, whose purpose, whatever it may have been originally, became that of a sheriff's pose after one of the seldom popular state troopers had by accidentally observed, then questioned, and finally joined the Seekers. I think this man's going crazy, guys. Just a little bit. On the third day, Slater was found unconscious in the hollow of a tree and taken to a near scow, where aliens of Alimony examined him as soon as his senses returned. To them, he told a simple story. He said, gone to sleep one afternoon, about sundown, after drinking too much liquor. He had awakened to find himself standing bloody-handed in the snow before his cabin, the mangled corpse of his neighbor, Peter Slater, at his feet. Horrified, he had taken to the woods in a vague effort to escape to the from the scene of what must have been his crime. Beyond these things, he seemed to know nothing, nor could the expert questioning of his interrogators bring out a single additional fact. That night, Slater slept quietly, and the next morning he awakened with no singular feature save for the alteration of expression. Dr. Bernard, who had been watching the patient, thought he noticed in the pale blue eyes a certain gleam of peculiar quality, and in the flaccid lips of all imperceptible tightening as if of intelligent determination. But when questioned, Slater relapsed in the habitual vacancy of the mountaineer, and only reiterated what he had said on the preceding day. On the morning occurred the first of the man's mental attacks. After some show of uneasiness in sleep, he burst forth into a frenzy so powerful that the combined efforts of 4 men were needed to bind him in a straitjacket. The alienists listened with keen attention to his words, since their curiosity had been aroused to a high pitch by the suggestive yet mostly conflicting and incoherent stories of his family and neighbors. Slater raved for upward of 15 minutes, babbling in his backwoods dialect of great edifices of light, oceans of space, strange music, and shadowy mountains and valleys. But most of all, did he dwell upon some mysterious blazing entity that shook and laughed and mocked at him. This vast and vague personality seemed to have done him a terrible wrong, and to kill it in triumphant revenge was his paramount desire. In order to reach it, he said, he would soar through abysses of emptiness, burning every opportunity.
Start drinking heavily.
Thank you. In his paramount desire, in order to reach it, he said he would soar through abysses of emptiness, burning every obstacle that stood in his way. Thus ran his discourse. And you're cool. I have to cool, man. I have to. I can't stop it. It's how I power the book, guys. It's how I power it. The fire of madness died from his eyes, and in dull wonder he looked at his questioners and asked why he was bound. Dr. Bernard unbuckled the leatherness harness and did not restore it till the night. When he succeeded in persuading Slater to don it of his own volition for his own good, the man had now admitted that he sometimes talked queerly, though he knew not why. Within a week, 2 more attacks appeared, but from them the doctors learned little on the source of Slater's visions. They speculated at length, for since he could neither read nor write, and had apparently never heard of legendary or fairy tale. His gorgeous imagery was quite inexplicable. That it could not come from any known myth or romance was made especially clear by the fact that the unfortunate lunatic expressed himself only in his own simple manner. He raved of things he did not understand and could not interpret it, things which he claimed to have experienced, but which he could not have learned through any normal or connected narration. The alienists soon agreed that abnormal dreams were the foundation of trouble. Dreams whose vividness could, for a time, completely dominate the waking mind of his basically inferior man. With due formality, Slater was tried for murder, acquitted on the ground of insanity, and committed to the institution where I held so humble a post. Oh God, this is like a little bit like older English. Oh God, I love it, but I don't know it. I have said that I'm a constant speculator concerning dream life, and from this you may judge from the eagerness from which I applied myself to a study of new patient. As soon as I had fully ascertained the facts of his case, he seemed to sense a certain friendliness in me, born no doubt of the interest I could not conceal, and the gentle manner in which I questioned him. Not that he has ever recognized me during his attacks, when I hung breathlessly upon his chaotic but cosmic word pictures, but he knew me in his quiet hours, when he would sit by his barred windows weaving baskets of straw and willow, impressed, pining for the mountain freedom he could never enjoy again. His family never called to see him, probably had found another temporary head, after the manner of Deccan mountain folk. By degrees I commenced to feel an overwhelming wonder at the mad and fantastic conceptions of Joe Slater. The man himself was pitiably inferior in mentality and language alike, but his glowing titanic visions, through described in a barbarous and disjointed jargon, were assuredly things which only a superior or even exceptional brain could conceive. How I often asked myself, could the stolid imagination of a Catskill degenerate conjure up sights whose very possession argued a lurking spark of genius? How can any backwoods dullard have gained as much as an idea of those glittering realms of supernal radiance and space about which Slater rented it in his furious delirium? Breathe, Slam, breathe. Oh. More and more I inclined to the belief that in the pitiful personality who cringed before me lay the disordered nucleus of something beyond my comprehension. Something infinitely beyond the comprehension of my own experience, but less imaginative medical and scientific colleagues. And yet I could extract nothing definite from the man. The sum of all of my investigation was that in a kind semi-incorporeal dream life, Slater wandered or floated through resplendent and prodigious valleys, meadows, gardens, cities, and places of light, in a region abounded and unknown to man. There was no peasant or degenerate, but a creature of importance and vivid life. More importantly and dominantly, and checked only by a certain deadly enemy who seemed to be being of visible and yet ethereal structure, and who did not appear to be of human shape, since later never referred to as a man, or as aught save a thing. This thing had done Slater some hideous but unnamed wrong, which the maniac, if maniac he were, yearned to avenge, from the manner in which Slater alluded to their dealings. I judged that he was and the luminous thing had met on equal terms, that in his dream existence the man was himself a luminous thing of the same race as his enemy. This impression was sustained by his frequent references to flying through space and burning all that impeded his progress. Yet these conceptions were formulated in rustic words, wholly inadequate to convey them. A circumstance which drove me to the conclusion that if a true dream world indeed existed, oral language was not its medium for the transmission of thought. Could it be that the dream soul inhabiting the inferior body was desperately struggling to speak things which the simple and halting tongue of dullness could not utter? Oh God, my brain is discombobulating. Could it be that I was face to face with with intellectual emanations, which could explain the mystery if I could but learn to discover and read them? I did not tell the older physicians of these things, for Middle Ages skeptical, cynical, and disinclined to accept new ideas. Besides, the head of the institution had but lately warned me in his paternal ways that I was overworking, that my mind needed a rest. It had long been my belief that human thought consists basically of atomic and molecular motion, convertible into either waves of radiant energy like heat, light, and electricity. This belief had early led me to contemplate possibly telepathy or mental communication by means of suitable apparatus. I had in my college days prepared a set of transmitting and receiving instruments somewhat similar to the cumbrous devices employed in wireless telegraphy. At the crude pre-radio period, these I had tested with a fellow student, but achieving no result. I had soon packed away with the other scientific odds and ends for possible future use. Now, my intense desire to probe into the dream life of Joe Slater, I sought these instruments again, and spent several days in repairing them for action. When they were once more, I missed no opportunity for their trial. At each outburst of Slater's violence, I would fit the transmitter to his forehead and the receiver to my own. Oh God, we're going into some weird stuff, guys. Cool. Constantly making delicate adjustments for various hypothetical wavelengths of intellectual energy. I had little notion of how thought impressions would, if successfully conveyed, arouse an intellectual response in my brain. But I felt certain that I could detect and interpret them. Accordingly, I continued my experiments, though informing no one of their nature. It was on the 21st of February 1901 that the thing finally occurred. As I look back across the years, I realize how unreal it seems, and sometimes half wonder if old Dr. Fenton was not right when he charged it all to my excited imagination. I recall that he listened with great kindness and patience when I told him, but afterward gave me a nerve powder and arranged for the half year's vacation on which I had departed for next week. That fateful night, I was widely agitated and perturbed, for despite the excellent care he had received, Joe Slater was unmistakably dying. Perhaps it was his mountain freedom that he missed, or perhaps the turmoil in his brain had grown too acute for his rather sluggish physique. But at all events, the flame of vitality flickered low in the decadent body. He was drowsy near the end, and as darkness fell, he dropped off into a troubled sleep. I did not strap on the straitjacket as he was customary when he slept, since I saw that he was too feeble and to be dangerous, even if he woke in a mental disorder once more before passing away. But I did place upon his head and mine the two ends of the cosmic radio, hoping again against hope for the first and last message from the dream world in the brief time remaining in the cell with us. Was one nurse, a mediocre fellow who did not understand the purpose of the apparatus or to inquire into my course. As the hours wore on, I saw his head droop awkwardly in sleep, but I did not disturb him. I myself, lulled by the rhythmical breathing of the healthy and the dying man, must have nodded a little later. The sound of weird lyric melody was what aroused me. Chords, vibrations, and harmonic ecstasies echoed passionately on every hand, while on my ravished sight burst the stupendous spectacle of ultimate beauty. Walls, columns, and architraves of living fire blazed effulgently around the spot where I seemed to float in air, extended upward to an infinitely high vaulted dome of indescribable splendor. Blending with this display of spatial magnificence, or rather, supplanting it at times in kaleidoscope rotation, were glimpses of wide plains and graceful valleys, high mountains and inviting grottos, covered with every lovely attribute of scenery, with my delightful, delighted eye to conceive of, yet formed wholly of some glowing ethereal plastic entity, which consistently partook of as much of spirit as I gazed. I perceived that my own brain held the key to these enchanting metamorphoses. For each vista, each appeared to me, was the one my changing mind most wished to behold. Amidst this Elysian realm I dwelt not as a stranger, for each sight and sound was familiar to me, just as it had been encountered eons of eternity before, and would be for like eternities to come. Then the resplendent aura of my brother of light drew near and held colloquially to me, soul to soul, with silent and perfect interchange of thought. The hour was one of approaching triumph, for was not my fellow being escaping at last from a degrading periodic bondage, escaping forever and preparing to follow it, the accursed oppressor even to the uttermost fields of ether, that upon it might be wrought a flaming cosmic vengeance which would shake the spheres? We floated thus for a little time, and I perceived a slight blurring and fading of objects around us, as though some force were recalling me to earth, where I at least wished to go. The form near me seemed to feel a change also, for it gradually brought its discourse toward a conclusion, and itself prepared to quit the scene, fading from my sight at a rate somewhat less rapid than that of the other objects. A few more thoughts were exchanged, and I knew that the luminous one and I were being recalled to bondage, though for my brother of light it would be for the last time. The sorry planet shell being well nigh spent. In less than an hour, my fellow would be free to pursue the oppressor along the Milky Way and pass the hither stars to the very confines of infinity. A well-defined shock separates my final impression of the fading scene of light from my sudden and somewhat shamefaced awakening, and straightening up from my chair as I saw the dying figure on the couch move hesitantly. Joe Slater was indeed awaking, though probably for the last time. As I looked more closely, saw in the shallow cheeks showing spots of color which had never been there, been present. The lips too seemed unusual, being tightly compressed as if by the force of a stronger character than had been Slater's. The whole face finally began to grow tense, and the head turned restlessly with closed eyes. I did not arouse the sleeping nurse, but readjusted slightly the arranged headbands of my telepathic radio, intent to catch any parting message the dreamer might have to deliver all at once. The head turned. I read that bad. Oh my god, there's a period there. All at once, the head turned sharply in my direction, and the eyes fell open, causing me to stare in blank amazement at what I beheld. The man who had been Joan Slater, the Catskill Decadan, now gazing at me with a pair of luminous, expanded eyes, whose blue seemed subtly to have deepened. Neither mania nor degeneracy was visible in that gaze, and I felt beyond a doubt that I was viewing a face beyond which lay an active mind of high order. At this juncture, my brain became aware of a steady external influence operating upon it. I would close my eyes to concentrate my thoughts more profoundly, and was rewarded by positive knowledge that my long sought mental message had come at last. Each transmitted idea formed rapidly in my mind, and though no actual language was employed, my habitual association of conception and expression was so great that I had seemed to be receiving the message in ordinary English. Joe Slater is dead, came the soul petrifying voice of agency from beyond the wall of sleep. My opened eyes sought the couch of pain and curious horror, for the blue eyes were still calmly gazing, and the countenance was still intelligently animated. He is better dead, for he was unfit to bear the active intellect of cosmic entity. His gross body could not undergo the needed adjustments between ethereal life and planet life. He was too much of an animal, too little of a man. Yet it is through his deficiency that you have come to discover me, for the cosmic and planet souls rightly should never meet. has been my torment and diurnal prison for 42 of your terrestrial years. I'm an entity like that which you yourself become in the freedom of dreamless sleep. I'm your brother of light and have floated with you in effulgent valleys. It is not permitted me to tell your waking earth self of your real self. But we are all roamers of the vast space and travelers in many ages. Next year I may be dwelling in the dark Egypt which you call ancient, or in the cruel empires of San Shan. San Shan, oh no! Miku? Which is to come 3,000 years hence. You and I have drifted to the worlds that reel about the red Arcturus and dwelt in the bodies of the insect philosophers that crawl proudly over the fourth moon of Jupiter. How little does the earth self know of life and its extent? How little indeed ought it to know for its tranquility? The demon star. Of the oppressor I cannot speak, you on earth unwittingly felt its distant presence. You, who without knowing idly gave to its blinking beacon the name of Algol, the demon star. It is to meet the conqueror and oppressor that I have vainly striven for eons, held back for bodily encumbrances. Tonight I go as a nemesis, bearing just a blazing cataclysmic vengeance. Watch me in the sky, close by the demon star. I cannot speak longer, for the body of Joe Slater grows cold and frigid. Daemon? Makes sense, because that's very English. Yeah, Daemon. I have to remember that because lots of like words are does work like that. All right, I should know that. I should know that. I should know that. But thank you. The Daemon star. Huh. Okay, brains back in. And the coarse brains are ceasing to vibrate as I wish. You have be my friend in the cosmos. You've been my only friend on this planet. The only soul to sense and seek for me within the repellent form which lies on this couch. Damon. Damon. Damon! Damon star! It's a Damon star! Noted, noted. Learn something new every day. It's like Damon, yeah. You, you shall meet again, perhaps in the shining mist of Orion's sword, perhaps on a bleak plateau in prehistoric Asia, perhaps in the unremembered dreams tonight, perhaps in some other form of eon hence, when the solar system shall have been swept away. At this point, the thought's waves abruptly ceased in the pale eyes of the dreamer, or can I say dead man,
Hydrate up, bitch.
commenced to glaze fishily in a half stupor. I crossed over to the couch, felt at his wrist, but found it cold, stiff, and pulselessness. Where was I? I was just reading you. I was just reading you. In a half stupor, I crossed over to the couch and felt his wrist, but found it cold, stiff, and pulselessness. The sallow cheeks paled again, and the thick lips fell open, disclosing the repulsively rotten fangs of a degenerate Joe Slater. I shivered, pulled a blanket over the hideous face, and awakened the nurse. I have dropped half of them so I can read a little better. This is going to happen for all book clubs. Forewarning. I will bring them back after book club. Ones that aren't too terrible kind of thing. I basically turned off like most ones that were like heavy, loud noises. There's like two of them. Two left. Then I left the cell and went silently to my room. I had insistent and unaccountable cravings for a sleep whose dreams I should not remember. The climax? What plain tale of science can boast of such rhetorical effect? I have merely set down things appealing to me as facts, allowing you to construe them as you will. As I have already admitted, my superior, old Dr. Fenton, denies the reality of everything I have related. He vows that I was broken down with nervous strain and badly in need of a long vacation on full pay, which he so generously gave me. He assures me on his professional honor that Joe Slater was but a low-grade paranoiac, whose fantastic notions must have come from the crude hereditary folk tales which circulate in even the most decadent of communities. All this, he tells me, yet I cannot forget what I saw in the sky on the night after Slater died. Lest you think me a biased witness, another's pen must add this the final testimony. No. The thing is, pilot, it was 100K. I had it on discount for 50K. I, like a supermarket, rearrange my prices to fit better. Plot twist, because you were the first one to use it, by the way. Woo. Which may perhaps supply the climax you expect. I will quote the following account of the Star Nova Parasite verbatim from the pages of eminent astronomical authority Prof. Garrett P. Servaas. On February 22, 1901. No, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that now. You should do it for 69K. A marvelous new star was discovered by Dr. Anderson of Edinburgh, not very far from Algol. No star had been visible at this point before. Within 24 hours, the stranger had become so bright that it outshone Capella. In a week or two, that it had visibly faded, and in the course of a few months, it was hardly discernible with the naked eye. Huh. Huh. Also, if anything, that's still a lot of points. If anything, that's still a lot of points. So like, I trust you. So that was beyond the fuck of sleep. What do you guys like think about it? I personally, I liked it. I like learning about just like Earth, and didn't know he was a mountaineer. Also, that's pretty nice. That the way that he pertained it, as like he was more tribal, more he was in the cusp of like being human and animal, but still having these narratives that he shouldn't have had, kind of thing. You know, that little ending bit. That's an actual thing. Yeah, no, like
Drink water, you dehydrated bitch!
there's an actual story. I enjoyed it. It was more of a hard read for me because once more, a little bit. This is a little bit more older English, like reading kind of like Shakespeare. Even I want to say I'm not used to that. I'm not used to it.
Wake up, sleepyhead.
I'm not used to it, man. I'm not used to it. But no, yeah. What did you guys find interesting about it? I enjoyed it. I like the story. It was very like like very profound. Like what word was like I had trouble, but like I understand the words being used. Trust me, I do. I try. Trust me, I do. I do. But no, I enjoyed the rivalry of them slowly like trying to learn about his thing. He's very profound yet racist. Yeah. Oh, like, oh yeah. We learned that right at the beginning. But like, oh my god, I enjoyed that they were like, he shouldn't be able to think these things like these be this profound, but also he's doing it. Also, I didn't know this was like how HP Lovecraft like wrote, and it's a lot. It's a lot for me to take in. His family where the man died the night they turned 30. Oof. Are there any parts in it within the story that you guys didn't like? Did like? I enjoyed when the supposed doctor was like, I'm just gonna create myself this telepathy radio thing. Be like, well, let's stick to his head, and it's gonna work. It's gonna work. It's gotta work. I use these things back in like trade school. This should work. It worked on radios, so it should work on brains. Let's do it. Yeah. Which one should we read next? Question mark. Next Friday. We can go in timeline. Next one should be Dagon, like timeline wise. Nope. I don't accidentally breathe fire accidentally while breathing in, or breathe out kind of thing. Usually a goblin gets in the way and they go oh, and they usually get stuck there. It's what it sometimes happens. But no, yeah, we can go in timeline wise for HP Lovecraft books. I don't mind. Next one could definitely be Dagon. Or if you have a favorite, we could read another one. I don't mind. We could read The Cats of Ulthar, Nyarlathotep, who timeline wise, but my favorite personal favorite is The Alchemist. Okay. Timeline wise, okay. Alright. How far is The Alchemist? How far are you? How far are you? Oh, we got so many. Oh, we got so many. Got so many. Rom-con. Shadows over stuff. I would love to know the sorcerer. Oh, no, that's shadow. That's shadow stuff, not sorcerer. I would love to know. Please. Gib. So, next book we will read will be Dagon, the next one in the line of books. Charles the Sorcerer. Charles the Sorcerer. I'm saying it properly. I'm sorry. Okay, so we have we have a bunch of them before we get there. Then okay, all right. But no, yeah, next one will be Dagon. That'll be the next book in the timeline of books he's made. And I believe there is in Discord as well by the ever so amazing nice thank you by the way pilot. I dropped a pin into Goblin Chat about all the whole entire list, the complete works of H.P. Lovecraft. So if you want to give a read for yourself as well, go for it. go into the Goblin Book Club things, drop your response of how you thought about about beyond the sleep. I'm saying it wrong each time. But that is book club. Goblin Book Club. Thank you for popping in for a little bit. We're gonna play some games later. And yes, I will drop this into YouTube as well. I will actually make this into a VOD, like a weekly VOD. I'll do it. So if you got some responses, drop it down below. Or I will literally take the goblins and I will eat them. I will eat the goblins. I'll do it. You can't stop me. Alright, and that's where I'm gonna mark it. Perfect. Awesome. Beep boop. And beep boop. Done. Awesome. Alrighty. I can finally close that bad boy up. Alright. What shall we do now, game-wise? I got a few hours tonight until my budget's getting so expensive because it's a goddamn collector's game. I will tell you right now, Yamper, before you buy cards, before you do the whole deck building shit, I'm a Magic the Gathering person. Also, Palette. All cards are like that. All cards like that. If you like Magic the Gathering, buy. If you, get yourself some land. Like if you have like enough lands to like use as chaff or whatever, buy paper pieces first. It's much cheaper to buy paper things. Like go to your near Staples or whatever. Get some paper like duplexes or whatever. See if you like the deck in the first place. Then slowly make your deck or whatever. Also, cards are hella big. I have a deck already, and I have over 120 lands. That's totally fine. That's totally fine. I'm saying that as in like whenever you build like more decks and do things whatnot, having cards is great, but also like there's like it can be very bad. It can be very bad. It can be like a lot for single cards. And obviously, like some people will like when it comes to competitions, whatever. Some people will have rules like, oh, you gotta have actual cards or whatever, like and whatnot. You can't have fake ones. Max is cards of the same deck. Nice. Depends on the game when it comes to Magic. Depends on the thing. Is like I think it's like modern.
A new hand touches
Oh,
the beacon.
that was loud. Oh, that was loud. Oh, that was loud. Huh. Modern Magic, you can have any cards you want, as much as cards you want, but it's up to 60 cards. Commander, you can only have one card of each type. But no, 100% like there are people. The problem with like the one problem that like there's a few problems with Magic. I'm not gonna lie. I like the cards. They make them look nice, cute, whatever kind of thing. Wish you had multiple rule sets for each year. That's when you get a good friend group and you play with them. You play with them and with your own like group setting rules and whatnot. Because like as an example, in my house, Emrakul is banned in Commander. She is. Makes sense. I hate it. But like with the cards that come out, not as bad. Yeah, no, it makes no sense. For Yu-Gi-Oh, for having like having that thing makes no sense. Either a deck can be built around having multiple of the same thing. I'm hoping it's not because of the pot of greed meme, where he's like, you pull a card, pot of greed, pull a card, pot of green, pull a card, pot of green, kind of thing. But like that'd be funny though. That'd be a funny shenanigans kind of thing. That's how you create more shenanigans, funny little things in your game. But no, yeah, Magic can get very pricey very quick. But also, not Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh could definitely have some more sets of like different ways to play it, kind of thing. As in like different like rule sets. That'd be cool. It's an illegal card. What? And here I'm thinking it's the most known and like cool card ever. Because it's a meme as well. What? Excuse me? But no, yeah, we'll continue doing this at like at 12 p.m. EST every Saturday. I'll let you guys know if something changes or not. I don't usually ever work Saturdays. It's usually Tuesdays, and you sometimes I get thrown on Fridays. The only reason why it was happened this Friday was because like people were on vacation. That's it. Yeah, but it's been illegal for years. Damn, shame. Maybe I'll actually play Yu-Gi-Oh. Maybe I'll do that. Is there like a good like online game or whatever that does that? Because like if I'm actually gonna ever play it online or no in real life, I'm getting the arm thing. I'm getting it again. I had it as a kid, and I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll get. I don't just mouse. Oh, you make me jealous right now. You're making me actually, because that's the one thing I do enjoy about Yu-Gi-Oh. It has a dual disc. It has an actual arm thingy that you can just pull from. I would love that shit. Obviously, with Magic, like there's not enough like handy parts to like have there, because there's the mana, there's the creatures, there's the artifacts. And you also gotta make sure everyone else knows what you have there. I would love that shit. I'll have to relearn the game, but noted. Also, Master Duel. Master Baiting Duel? I got you, bro. Alright. There we go. There we go. It's just so new people coming in aren't flabbergasted. Nami. Boop. Ooh, thank you. Thank you. Ooh. Ooh. Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Yep. Okay, so like the playstyle looks like Magic Arena, but I'll try it out. I'll try it out. I'll try it out. You might run a Monarch deck. What's a modern deck? Oh, Monarch. Monarch is not. I remember that term. I remember it, but like my brain's not there for that. Not yet. What's there? What is there? All right. Be gone, Grimoire. Leave. There we go. We could also do some Blender later. I have finally made the mouth how I like it. Yesterday, I think yesterday was just me watching memes and like and just doing some Blender the whole time. That's all I was doing. I was crying and eating noodles. Summons. Ooh. Different edition card game that has been evolving for 5 years. Things called. How are you? But is now downloaded. Oh my god, I'm seeing some cute creatures. I may just play it just to make a cute little deck. That'd be cool. That'd be a win in my books. So my first decks ever in anything has to be something cute. Cause like for Magic it was a Dreamy, cute little lizard gecko thing, mutate deck kind of thing. It was great. But then I believe they're green, black, and blue. Hmm. It makes it so both me and my opponent can only summon twice a turn. Or what? Nice, nice. I'm assuming summons like you can either summon it or you can like sacrifice to summon something better, kind of thing. And you can only do that twice. Nice. You're controlling the board. How dare you? Ah. No, play your way. Play what you enjoy. Do it. Do it up. Do it up. Also, by the way, I'm used to like opening a box of like crackers, being like, oh yeah, it's a full line like full like line of like little snack little thingies, little bite thingies. I open some like no name brand thing. And it's like all of them are like little things. I Is there card openings in this game? Is there card openings in this game? If I was if I was a little bit more richer, if I could do that, I would. Because like you could get money doing that, but also it's a 50. It's a maybe if you get money get out of doing little gotcha like card openings and whatnot. You're basically gambling with cards. You're actually just you're just gambling with cards. Just what it is. And I get the appeal. I get it. I get it. Feelings is oh damn. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Won't lie to you. I don't know what that means. Mm. Like, what if I just like make my own cards though, man? And window. Whoa. Master Duel. Is that not what it's called? Yuki. Okay, there we go. There we go. I'm just spelling dual wrong.